My name is David O Onyango, Assistant Chief, South Kanyajuok Sub-Location. In my position as the Area Assistant Chief, I've had to deal with issues related to child labor, early marriages, and other domestic issues. First of all, these early marriages, most of them are found in families where they find the parents are separated, or either you'll find that either one parent is dead or both parents are dead. When you go to a home where you find that the parents are separated, you'll find maybe the mother is there with the children. Maybe the father's gone out to inherit another woman somewhere, running away from the responsibility. Under this case, you will find that the mother will not be able to provide for the children. And young girls, usually there's so many things that they require. And you see that the mother will be looking for food for the children and the household. She might not be able to provide everything. And you'll find a child going maybe to somebody like a border who is able to give her 50 shillings maybe every day. And she will look at that person as a very important person in her life, because that person is able to give her 50 bob. She will use that to buy food or even other personal effects that a girl is entitled to. So in this case, this border person will, in the end, will not pay this, will not be giving this 50 bob for nothing. He will require something in return. And that is where you'll find that the girl will end up being defiled, unknowingly that man is taking away her right. And if you come to a home where you find that maybe the parents are both dead, these children will end up living with maybe a relative, maybe an uncle, an aunt. And in this home, you'll find other people, like maybe the husband to the aunt, or the sons to the aunts. They will not look at these children as maybe their sibling, and maybe they will take care of them like a brother and a sister. They will be looking at them as people who are outsiders, and they will take advantage. You will end up with maybe early pregnancies in that home. And the aunt might not want maybe the issue to be handled outside the family. They will make sure that that matter does not go anywhere. They will find a way by which they block any outsider from finding the truth. They will tell you that we don't know the person who defiled this young girl, and she has ended maybe being pregnant. When you come to a home where there is these early marriages, they are more or less the same like the ones I've explained before, because you'll find that the child, who is in this case a girl, will run away from the home where there's no provision. So you'll find a man who can take care of her, and they will run and maybe get married somewhere. And these early marriages has really contributed to unstable families in the end, because you find a man making a decision of getting married to a lady whom he has not taken time to know properly that this person he will have to live with forever. This girl will end up giving a birth, and life changes after birth, because she will not maintain her position in terms of physical appearance. Most women, after giving birth, they become a different people, and you'll find maybe the man. That's when you will start looking at this person and say, no, this is not the person I want to live the rest of my life with. And you will end up marrying another woman. After marrying another woman, this house is not provided for. Children, they are not taken care of. They don't even go to school. There are no provisions like uniforms, medication, and other personal effects. See, this man, after getting married to another woman, maybe he will not be satisfied even there, because that kind of a person he wants to live with does not exist in this kind of women he's marrying at an early age. Because after some few years, they become different people, and you find that the man would want another woman. And in a very short while, in a period of the man is not even outside the bracket of youth, he has over 3 or 4 women without proper income. And these children in these houses will require the father, they will require the mother, they will require the provisions that the parents are supposed to give their children. So this kind of setup is very, very common in our society. And we've tried, and this is why we have people like community health volunteers who are trained by the public health officers to be able to intervene and go to every house and try and sensitize these people that the children require their rights, and these rights are all in the Constitution. And the child is entitled to education, food, clothing, medical attention, and he has to be living in a house. So if a parent cannot provide all this, and this parent is continuing giving birth to many children that we cannot provide for, these CHVs are able to tell these people that they should give birth to the children that they can take care of. A man should get married at the right age, when he knows what he's doing, so that when a child comes in their life, he's able to provide for these children. The children are able to go to school, they are able to have the parental love, they are able to grow under a house where there is the father is there and the mother is there, without lacking any of those things. And in that setup, you'll find that a child is able to do well in school without maybe failing or dropping out of school. So CHVs are doing their best. They are being empowered. Almost after every 3 months, they are taken to training so that they are empowered properly to handle these issues. Because even domestic violence is very common in the society, coming out of a lack of proper provision by the parents. So the CHVs are doing their best. We have also community health, community policing. These are people who help us to trace runaway children who might have left school at an early age. They are able to trace them and bring them back. After that, they are, we try and get time and talk to them. We counsel them so that they can go back to school and remain in school until they are through with their school. We also have Nyumba Kumi. These Nyumba Kumi are able to tell us exactly what's happening in a cluster of 10 households. Each Nyumba Kumi is a person who is representing 10 households and is able to tell exactly what's happening in these households. so that we know when to intervene and even when to go to a household where there is a looming problem. And we are able to talk to these people before maybe a scenario where they separate out of misunderstanding between the two parents. We also have village elders. Village elders are also very, very vital in the society. They help us by setting the disputing couples and solving issues at the village level, so that these small domestic squabbles they are able to handle, and even if they find that there is any that they cannot handle, they are brought to our office. We are able to listen to them and talk to them so that they can understand how to handle situations that might go out of hand. Because in many occasions you will find that after the couple have disagreed, if it is not handled properly at the earliest time possible, you'll end up with even a very nasty violence in the home, whereby you find that the father can even end up killing the mother. The mother can even poison the children so that she doesn't have problems. Maybe after running away from that home, she doesn't have to be reminded that there are some children somewhere suffering. She would rather kill them by poisoning the whole family and runs away. Some even end up, getting even petrol and maybe burning the whole house plus the children. And this has happened in our society so many times. Some even intervened and even stopped when those things are already there. The matchbox is there, petrol is there, and the mother is totally out of her mind and ready to kill the whole household. Just because of maybe misunderstanding. The man would want to marry another, maybe a second wife, after finding that they cannot go on properly with the wife. And this has really, we made us end up with the children who maybe after coming out of that kind of a problem, they are traumatized. This child will go on being an adult person, but is disturbed. You cannot give that person, that child, that which he lost. You cannot, even if you try. Like what? You cannot.
One question. Does our culture facilitate early marriage?
Our culture, as the Luos, it does. It does facilitate that, because you find that in most cases, after a family has had maybe more than they can take care of in terms of children, they will give them out to their aunts. And if you give a child, a girl child, to an aunt who is living away from that home, though the men there will just look at that child as wife material. They will start trying to seduce her at an early age. This girl will not come back to the parents again. You will hear that she's married out somewhere. And the aunt is the one who is going to aid that. So our culture has really contributed towards these early marriages in many ways. Apart from that one, you will find that in back there, a father might be having maybe a daughter married somewhere, and he will engage maybe a younger daughter to a man in that home where the elder daughter is married, and he will start getting the dowry at an early age. Within a very short time, you'll find that the girl has gone to a new home, and the father will not allow anybody to know exactly what happened, because he will say that this is my child after all. I have all the right to do whatever I want with her. The school management committee, or BOG, in that matter, in terms of maybe secondary school. These people will hold a meeting in a school, and that meeting, at times you'll find that it is a meeting that is geared towards getting money, which is contrary to the government policies, because the government is providing what we call free primary education. And when the government is saying free primary education, it means every child, the government is paying money in terms of books, in terms of even the subordinate staffs in that school, like the watchman and any person maybe who's doing the groundworks. The government is providing everything, even the pens they're writing with and the materials that they use in the school. But you'll find that a teacher, after going to a particular school, he will look at the kind of school management committee is having, and will call a few, maybe give them something. And then we'll call a meeting and tell them, now, when we get to this meeting, I would want you to support this. When we say that we want to put up some fee for every student to pay, so that we can end up maybe employing other teachers. And parents will be later on be called to what we call a general meeting and be given what the committee have passed. Every parent, without even trying to find out exactly why this amount was reached, they'll just say, it is okay if it will make our children pass the exams. And this one is going to affect even that child who is an orphan in a home where there is no father, there is no mother, and is expected to raise money to go and pay that money. This child will maybe end up failing to attend school, going to look for money, going to work for somebody so that he can raise that money and come back and pay that money to the school. And in many occasions, you'll find that after maybe doing this for some time, you will get used to earning his own money. And he will leave school. He will not continue the school because he's able to work and get money. So you end up that with a dropout in the society, people who are supposed to be in school, but they have dropped out because they cannot pay that money which is required in school.